Yes,
Who is the first informant? We were talking about the first information.
yes.
Who is that first informant? Can you name us, please?
Name him.
Who is the first informant
we
to
just-
lodge the FIR?
The one, I just find out for us.
And we would also like to know the time of the registration of the
The
FIR.
father of the victim.
Wait a minute, please don't interfere. Don't interfere.
The
please.
first UD case was done by the police on its own.
So that is not an FIR. What is section 174 of the old CRPC today? Can anyone assist us, please?
Yes, what's?
So that's just a report.
Yes, to start the investigation.
Then who lodged the FIR?
183.
First, the father of the deceased,
Yes.
then
And
the
then the
vice
vice
principal of the
principal.
hospital. First, the father of the deceased and vice principal of the hospital.
No, there cannot be two FIRs.
No, but both complaints were sent to us.
No.
Both complaints sent to us.
Tell us whose complaint is treated as,
Father of the deceased.
this is registered at what time?
11:45 PM.
11:45?
PM.
Now, next day.
Yes.
The night, Mother.
The night.
In the night. In the night, Mother. In the
Now,
night.
when is the body, one second, when is the body handed over to the parents for cremation?
Mother, kindly have this
Just
note
tell
that
us,
I've given.
what
Just
time is the body handed over to the parents for cremation? One second.
Around 3:30.
30:10.
No.
Therefore, one thing is very clear. The body is handed over to the parents for cremation at 8:30 PM. The FIR is registered at 11:45 PM. 3 hours and 15 minutes after the body is handed over to the parents for cremation.
They refuse to file. This is the problem. We handed it over. They filed the FIR. They made the complaint at 11:45. They say, we are in shock. Please do whatever you want to do. They wanted a postmortem. We did the postmortem. All is videographed. Everything is videographed.
The autopsy and the postmortem take place.
Between 1:45 to 4 PM.
Now, between 1:45 and 4 PM, the autopsy takes place, followed by the
My lord, the
postmortem.
autopsy took place at 6 o'clock, not at,
Fair enough. That's all right. We'll take it as between 1 and 4 o'clock. It doesn't take place in 1 minute. It takes
that was
time.
when,
Videograph.
1 second. Don't keep on interrupting.
They wanted
So
a board. We
are
constituted a board.
We are proceeding on the basis of Mr. Sibal's hypothesis that the autopsy and the postmortem take place between 1 and 4:45 in the afternoon. Now,
Lordship, there is-
notwithstanding this, clearly,
Lordship, there-
the autopsy would reveal that this is a case where a doctor has been murdered, where she has been murdered.
Yeah.
The FIR is registered at 11:45 in the night, Mr. Sibal.
Yeah,
And who was expected to register?
yeah.
Nobody in the hospital registers the FIR. The father registers the, what was the principal or the vice principal? What were the authorities of the hospital doing?
They wanted a board. We constituted a board. They wanted a magistrate. We got the
You
magistrate.
don't need
They realized
time
that
for
murder has
registration
been
of
the
FIR.
history of
You don't need a medical board
Yeah,
for
they are-
registration of FIR.
At the moment, at the moment, Mellas, what are we considering? We are considering, Mellas, 2 or 3 things, as your lordship has put to me. How did these photographs reach the social media?
No, that's.
I'll mention all this, how did these photographs reach the media? We have nothing to do with it.
No, let
because
us
we
not
cordoned off
trivialize, my lord.
everything. People there took photographs, came in, took photographs and sent it. Number 2, Mellas, immediately an unnatural death case, Mellas, was started and an investigation was started. Your lordship may be right, Mellas, why did it happen? But whatever the parents were doing, we were agreeing with that. We set up a board. We asked the magistrate to come, a judicial magistrate to be present. Everything was videographed. Everything was called.
Mr. Sibal, it is the
Application
obligation
was made
of the
before the Siyata
authorities
court.
of the hospital.
Yeah.
The parents are not present in the hospital when the murder takes place.
Yes.
It's the obligation of the authorities of the hospital to register an FIR the moment they
2:45 it was done. 2:45 done. The letter was sent.
11:45 in the
No, 2:45 letter was sent. Assistant superintendent sent a letter at 2:45, Mellas. It's not 11:30, at 2:45 itself, we'll set out all this, Mellas. It's better we set it.
What we, Mr.
Lordships may give me 5 minutes, my lord,
Yes.
to further, my lord, to assist your lordships. My lord, first of all, Lord, let us not trivialize on this side, my lord, we are dealing with one incident, but your lordships are rightly looking at a larger picture. But we are dealing with, my lord, a young doctor, not only raped by a sexual pervert or perverts, but who was an animal-like instinct, who had an animal-like instinct, the way, my lord, the body was handled. Thereafter, my lord, I don't wish, my lord, to make this a political issue. I would request the state also not to be in a denial mode. 3 hours of the patient, parents waiting, my lord, is something we can experience if we put ourselves in that position. Now, my lord, so far as the safety is concerned, my lord, one thing I must bring to your lordship's notice. My lord, the doctors are genuinely, my lord, have a grievance. They are, my lord, they've lost one of their colleagues, my lord, globally. But, my lord, out of, my lord, all states, 23 states have legislations dealing with, my lord, what is called for, my lord, Kerala, my lord, so-and-so Medicare service persons and medical service institutions, Prevention of Violence and Damage or Loss to the Property Act. There are, my lord, I'll give, my lord, the list of acts. My lord, this also the National Task Force, my lord, can
The punishment which is provided under.
it's
the
a cognizable, my lord,
is
and
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
yes, my lord, it's
Sing.
cognizable.
Years, people who are protesting, so long as there is no act of destruction of.
We have
public property,
videos. We agree.
let there not be the power of the state unleashed. on
Agree.
Peaceful protection.
Manoj, I agree, and that has not happened. 1 second. We have videos which we have placed, we will place before your lordship. And Manoj, what happens is political parties get into the act and this is what happens.
People who are taking to the media to communicate their views.
Yes.
Let us deal with them with a great deal of.
I agree, I
sympathy. It's a time of national catharsis.
Look at the girl, don't be in denial.
Manoj,
mode.
now, for example, they say pelvic and collarbone was broken. False. Postmortem doesn't say that.
Not
Lordship,
going to
state
strike.
and the center, they'll keep arguing.
CBI,
Fair.
CBI is investigating it.
Yes.
We will ask for a report from the CBI. Now, what we propose.
Just-
1 second.
Just 1 second.
This must stop. We are here, we are in charge of the proceeding. We have heard Mr. Solicitor, we have heard Mr. Sybil. If we start hearing all the interveners, there'll be no end to it.
Lordship,
Please have some patience. We are going to now tell you what we are proposing to do. We are not disposing of the case, but let's allow us to at least pronounce what we intend to do. All right.
No, this is the list of
okay.
acts.
Would your lordship just give us
On,
a minute?
on 9 August 2024, a 31-year-old postgraduate doctor at R.G. Kar Medical College Hospital, Kolkata, who was in a 36-hour duty shift, was raped and murdered inside the seminar room of the hospital. As horrific details have emerged in the course of media reportage, the brutality of the sexual assault and the nature of the crime have shocked the conscience of the nation. The name and graphic images of the deceased have been widely circulated on social media without regard to her privacy or dignity. Writ petitions were instituted before the Calcutta High Court seeking, among other things, a court-monitored investigation of the crime and the conduct of the hospital authorities, including the role of the principal of the medical college and other officials by a special team of investigating officers. It has been alleged that the parents of the deceased were initially informed that their daughter had committed suicide. They were permitted to see the dead body after several hours, and a first information report in regard to the murder was registered belatedly by the police after several hours. By its order dated 13 August 2024, the High Court transferred the investigation to the Central Bureau of Investigation. Following the incident, agitations and protests were called by doctors' associations, student bodies, and civic groups across the country. On the eve of Independence Day, several areas in Kolkata saw protests spurred by the Reclaim the Knife campaign. At 12:30 a.m. on 15 August, when a protest was underway at the hospital, a large mob assembled at the premises of the R.G. Kar Medical College Hospital and vandalized the emergency ward and other departments of the hospital. Following the acts of wanted
Is not correct, and what's happening is just contrary to
Why
what the
can't we
record is.
share with
For
CBI?
example, they say it's a suicide. It is not a suicide. We never said.
Tainted.
We will, but Mr. Sybil, there was undoubtedly an unexplained delay.
I am not on merit.
Yes, my lord.
I am not on
What
that.
is to hide from CBI?
Malaj,
my
one
lord,
second.
This shows we are
One
not
second,
getting
I am not on that, Malaj. Malaj, as I said, whatever needs to be done must be done. People must be convicted. There is no issue on that. It's just that I don't want, Malaj, another kind of tirade in the social media.
No, it
Malaj,
will not be. You give it,
will
to
be,
CBI.
it will be.
You
I
have
know
subjects
it.
to give it to CBI.
One more thing. the state must ensure that those who practiced acts of vandalism and
Absolutely.
Yes.
We have lodged
37.
37 already arrested, 50 FIRs filed. 37 already arrested.
50 FIR for one incident. It's a recipe for not investigating.
You have, one second, you have a copy of the, before we part to the matter for today, you have a copy of the autopsy report here?
Yes.
We have it. We have it.
I have.
We hand it over. Yes, yes.
In the meantime, can I add
would,
one
my lord,
thing? my lord?
again request, my lord, if your lordships have seen something your lordships have, my lord, the CBI must be given, it will remain, my lord, confidential. But we must cross-check what is given to you.
Lord, your lordship,
This, the resistance shows that there is a lack of
No,
cooperation.
obviously there is a lack of faith.
Let me
my lord, your
do
lordship,
that on that day.
My joint director is here. I'll give it to her.
Oh, yeah. Allow, yeah. Just allow. Yes. Yeah, yes. Now, my
What
lord.
is there to hide from
One
CBI,
second,
my
one
lord?
second.
If they have given
Nothing is-
something related to crimes, it must be given, my lord, to the
Kindly
CBI.
see, kindly see page 40. Kindly,
Don't read it aloud, we'll just.
kindly page 40.
right. शुरू करें स्टेट को बोलो काम शुरू करें
It's a case diary, you have it all.
Only 10 seconds, my lord.
My lord,
I am,
just allow me,
I am,
allow
my
me.
lord.
What had
on the
happened-
Same comprehensive
my lord,
issue,
one
on which your
second.
lordships are perfectly framed. This deliberation and this exercise took place between 2016 to 2018 for preparing some protocol and some law. My lord, it resulted into framing of a legislation in 2019. Draft legislation is with me, with the central government forming a committee with IMA and other stakeholders. They gave a report. Report resulted into a draft legislation on violence against, my lord, medical practitioners and medical establishment. It is pending. IMA, my lord, represents the entire community of doctors. So if your lordships consider it appropriate, they can contribute in the participation of the committee, my lord.
That Mahindra Singh, we have already said
Your
that they will consult all stakeholders.
Correct, that's
We
what
have-
your lordship said.
And we have specifically referred to IMA. Necessary, it shall be ensured that the power of the state is not unleashed either against persons using legitimate means to express their opinions
Sure.
or to participate.
Yes, yes, no doubt, my lord. Except that
The doctors' protest must be banned, my lord. They leave the OTP and all treatment and they get the.
Since this court is seized of the matter pertaining to the safety and well-being of all medical professionals at their workplaces as an issue involving
Site. The same hoodlums, they went to the hostel. They actually threatened the lady resident doctors. And they were threatened with the kind of threat that's given to women every time they protest. And lordships, very harsh things was, and they were threatened with very harsh consequences. Now, lordships, now the women doctors, subject to, this is what I've been instructed by an association of doctors in West Bengal, and they are in touch with the resident doctors. They said that the women's hostel, most of the women, they've been called back by their parents because they're not feeling safe. So your lordships, when your lordships say they should join this, and because on that very date, the police, the state police, they ran away from the scene. Lordships, it's widely reported. I don't need to emphasize. Just let
Life
me,
in
Anyway.
let me
West
complete.
Bengal.
Lordship, this is
I'm
very
not
sensitive
making it
information.
political. It's, my lord,
He's appearing for the doctors. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Lordship. So what happened is after, yeah. So what happened, the police just left them and they were actually, the police hid in the changing room of the nurses. This is what the doctors told me, Lordship.
video.
Now, if I am, this is not, I don't want to be caught between the political battle of these two sides. Now
there is no political bet.
let me just explain. So what I'm just for the students and the doctors practicing, the Association of Doctors. In fact, one doctor, a very brave doctor, I don't want to take the gender. So it gave a representation to the police. So a lot of people have given a representation of the police. They have asked me to forward it to your lordships in sealed envelope. I have 3 copies of the representation. Lordships may just have a look to see
To us.
what is the position of the doctors there.
My lord, I can
My
make
lords
it
of-
clear, but I don't wish to.
That is
enter
why
into-
FIRs have been registered. We'll take strong action. Photo, we have got
Thing is-
from the CCTVs, photos have been,
Service takes
one thing.
years, my lord.
from the CCTVs, photos have been identified and we have lodged FIRs. Manas, and we are taking, those people have been arrested. 37 people have been arrested.
But, Mr. Sibal, arrest is another thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were protests of the doctors.
Yes, yes, of course.
This was part of the wider protests which were going on
Yes,
that
yes,
night.
absolutely.
It was called Reclaim the Night.
Yes, yes.
The West Bengal government could not have been unaware of the fact that when there are protests across the country, there's always another segment which will try and disrupt this.
What,
These are women who, the women doctors are assaulted. The police run away from the scene. Thereafter, the women doctors are called out by name, namely the people who are leading the protest, and they were threatened with the same fate that has befallen the others.
Manas, if they tell us, we'll take strong action. Manas, I agree. I'm not disputing.
You are supposed to be
Manas,
aware.
hold on. My lord is,
What
Chief
was-
Justice is asking me,
What
and let
was
me
the-
respond.
What was the police,
What does that
what was
tell
the
you?
police force doing
What,
in anticipation?
what happened was there were
Very
150, one second. There were 100, hold on, allow me. Mr. Solicitor, sir, I don't.
Please don't interrupt, Mr.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
We are putting a point to him.
And as I said, Manas, we are on the same side in this, Manas. Now, there were 150 policemen. Manas, what happened was that outside the hospital itself, 150, in anticipation, 150 policemen. But Manas, what happened was 7,000 people came. By the time we got additional force, which came later, this vandalism took place. This is what happened.
You 7,000.
We picked them up. We picked them up from there, Manas.
It doesn't appear that 7,000 people vandalized the place.
No, they didn't.
appears-
I didn't say that.
Then
Because by the time
80 to 90 people, they indulged in vandalism.
we have the video, we show it. There's no issue on that.
And
Facts can't be, Manas, distorted.
did the police run away from the site?
No, that can't be, Manas. We'll find out.
It's
How can the police run
impossible
away?
Police not
No
knowing
police run away,
7,000
Manas. These allegations, if you take them,
Impossible.
Manas, as face value,
Impossible, Manas.
then we have a problem. We have a video. I'll show it to you, Your Honor.
Sibal, we don't want.
Can we show you the
we
video?
don't
We
want
have to send
disclose-
them for
We
vandalism.
don't want to disclose the name or even the designation of the person who has written it. But please rest assured that this is not an ordinary complaint which has been.
No, I agree,
which has
Manas.
Been
I
submitted.
Manas, see the video. We'll show.
No,
we can-
please
we
do
can
not
upload it.
disclose. He or she will meet with the
upload it.
same fate.
Police calls the protesting doctors threatening them.
Just see, Manas, we got the video. It's pen drive also. We can give it to you. There's a pen drive. We can give you the pen drive.
Mr. Sibal, this email was sent on 19th of August by this particular doctor to the
Just give it.
ID of the Kolkata police
Lordships, it's been sent, yes.
at 22 hours.
Yesterday, Manas.
But tell us one thing, what is the police doing?
Manas, it was sent yesterday. We are taking action. We have taken action. See
How
the
do you
video,
know
Manas.
which
just see the
doctor,
video.
which mail, how do you know
What
that it is yesterday?
See the,
was submitted? Just look at the designation of the.
I will. Right now, I'm not, my lord, seeing that.
yes,
Take it up on Thursday morning now.
no problem.
Also to file in sealed cover, whatever we.
It shall be at dawn.
All the petitions.
Schedule an opportunity to do that on Thursday. If there's some concern, please come back to us.
Lordships.
We'll assure the doctors all over the country that whatever concern they have, please place it before us to
We are most grateful.
counsel who are here.
Your
We'll
lordship.
assuage your grievances the extent that we can.
What fries,
I'm sure this is a complete non-adversarial procedure.
Absolutely non-adversarial. We are grateful.